Howdy folks. So the question is, do I give you the benefit of the doubt, or are you a complete idiot? Yeah, that one's full of holes too. They're all full of holes. Every single kilometer marker on this road. Every single one. Well, it looks like he was using the fish as his target this time, aiming at the eyeball. I suppose his group isn't that bad. But we're on a friggin' Forest Service road right here. If anybody came around that corner while you were shooting, you're being a dumbass. Dog shit, diapers, manure, feces everywhere, and people enjoying a little bit of shooting. Isn't that just lovely?
And also broken glass.
And broken glass everywhere, yeah. People just dumping their garbage. Howdy folks, welcome to another episode of the Rifle Chair YouTube channel. Today's video is, I'm bringing you some bad news. It's bad news that we have brought upon ourselves as gun owners. I'm going to propose something that some of you might not want to hear, but it's the truth, and so I have to tell you the truth. But sometimes gun owners can be their own worst nightmare. I'll tell you what I mean. It basically has to do with irresponsibility and being accountable for your decisions, making good decisions instead. But you continue to make bad decisions, some of you. And unfortunately, there is always going to be a percentage of a population that is irresponsible. And in this case, gun owners that are irresponsible. And as a result, when people cannot be responsible, government has an obligation to react. And in this case, the government of British Columbia has reacted, and properly so. News release, British Columbia. BC fires back at reckless gun use in the Fraser Valley. Wednesday, April 5th, 2017. Victoria. The province is restricting gun use areas of the Fraser Valley where indiscriminate shooting is damaging habitat and creating serious safety concerns, says Simon Gibson, MLA for Abbotsford Mission, announced today on behalf of the Minister of Forests, Lands and Natural Resource Operations, Steve Thompson. BC has updated the Wildlife Act regulation to create no shooting zones within 400 meters of select roads on non-municipal Crown land within the Fraser Valley Regional District. The changes apply to recreational shooting and target practice and will not affect license hunting and trapping or impact First Nations traditional rights. The Fraser Valley is a popular recreation area. However, the increase in recreational shooting is posing risks to public safety, and in the past year, wildfire crews were forced to abandon fire suppression activities due to firearms activity, and there have been instances of unsafe shooting towards cabins and recreation sites. The change in regulation was requested by the Fraser Valley Regional District and local RCMP, and is supported by the District of Mission, the City of Abbotsford, the Conservation Officer Service, and numerous First Nations. Gun users who ignore the restrictions face fines of up to $50,000 and 6 months in jail for a first offence, and as much as a $100,000 fine and a year in jail for subsequent convictions. So is this good news for gun owners? No, it's bad news for gun owners. But it is because of the irresponsibility of a select few of you out there that all gun owners are now confronted with this situation. Okay, this is recklessness. This is irresponsibility of gun owners. Leaving behind trash. Taking your garbage out to the bush and shooting the crap out of it. Shotgun hells everywhere. We've all seen them. Propane tanks, fire extinguishers, abandoned cars, refrigerators, people shooting at transmission line insulators. No, they're out of the local gravel pit and they just make a mess. And people are being their safety is being placed in jeopardy by this irresponsible behavior. People are shooting into recreation sites, or they're bringing firearms into forest recreation sites and setting up an austere range. There's people camping. It represents a complete abandonment of the rule of law. And it's happening in your neighborhood. It's happening in your community, in your rural community. And you can't afford to turn a blind eye to it anymore. If you know who they are, explain it to them. Explain to them the error of their ways. If you don't believe that they're going to listen because you know that person well enough, you might want to consider sending in a report to the Queen's Cowboys or the RCMP or your local municipal police force. Because these are irresponsible people. Observe and report. I don't recommend you actually make contact with these people. If you see them shooting at road signs or at infrastructure on these old gravel roads, these Forest Service roads, these crown roads out and on crown land. But what you can do is make a note of their plate number, the vehicle description, and their description, and report them. If you see them doing this, it is completely unacceptable. You know, around this area, we have similar problems, as they obviously do in the Fraser Valley, where firearm owners are going out on these licensee roads, Forest Service roads, and they're shooting at the kilometer markers, they're shooting at the road signs, they're shooting at the frequency posting boards, and these are on highly traveled roads. They're shooting on these roads. They're going into the gravel pits and they're shooting up garbage, abandoned cars. It's vandalism. It's illegal. If we don't start taking this stuff seriously and reporting these people, we're going to end up with the same restrictions in northern BC as they're faced with now down in the south. Take it seriously. Be proactive. Report and observe. Observe and report. Do it. It's the right thing to do, and you know it is. You know, don't get me wrong. I get it, right? People that want to go shooting, they need a place to go. But normally what you do is you get a land act and you're like a license of occupation, permission to occupy crown land, you build a rifle range, but who in their right mind would want to accept that kind of liability? So people go out to the bush and they just find a piece of crown land and they start banging away without establishing any kind of a templated range for an austere range. There's a safe way of doing this stuff, you guys. You just got to learn how to do it safely. They're going out on like a forestry road and just banging away at kilometer markers. These kilometer markers are used by industrial users to radio out their location, whether they're going up or down that road. And you're shooting up those kilometer markers. Now it's an industrial safety issue. It's vandalism. Most of these kilometer markers reflect. So I also suspect that these are people going out at nighttime and shooting at those kilometer markers because they reflect. They can see them. Just so irresponsible. And you have to stop it. And if you're unaware of it, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You're ignorant. Okay? Get educated. But those of you that are repeat offenders and you know that it's wrong, morally corrupt, then you deserve to have your firearms confiscated. Sorry, but that's just the way it is. I mean, it is the ultimate expression of not being prepared to use their firearms safely or responsibly. Those are the people out there doing this. Observe and report. I don't suffer fools, and neither should you. Somebody's Christmas tree. It's got a nice refrigerator over there. Nothing wrong with it. I'm sure it works just fine. It's everywhere out in the bush now. People just dumping the garbage. Idiots.